Welcome back, my horde, to a podcast about Chris, because it's Chris's birthday and we're all here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. So, we can go around and explain who the heck everyone is. Well, I'm the host of the channel. My name's Robert.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
David?
Death.
Did you just call yourself Death?
Yep.
Okay.
You know me. I'm the person you're here to talk about.
Yay, Chris.
Yay, me.
I'm the birthday guy's wife.
Okay.
And I'm his daughter.
Yep.
I'm the panda.
That would be my wife.
I'm the Bryant.
Nah, that would be my roommate now. So yeah, we're just basically going to be talking about Chris because, you know, it's his birthday. So, does anyone want to tell any funny stories about Chris? Like the time that he fell down and broke his arm?
That's fine. It wasn't my arm, it was my shoulder.
Arden the Barden.
Yeah. The D&D character that I made, he was a bard. Half elf, I think. Or an
Some
elf,
of these
something like
stories will predate you.
that. Yeah. He was a bard that used whips.
Dang.
Because bards can use whips.
Yeah, the problem came from his name and the fact that he was a bard. We started just a random
Yep.
rhyme all along for the name. Eventually got to the point where you got pissed off at it. But it was just hilarious.
Over the years, Chris has been a lot more laid back from that stuff.
Yeah.
I know that for a while there, he was playing when he was playing D&D. He was just playing human fighters.
Yep.
Literally, I'm like, dude, you're making like a default human build. He's like, yeah, and he went as far as calling one of his characters default.
Yep.
I was
I
like,
don't remember that one.
oh, it may not have been with you. Me and him did play a lot of D&D off by ourselves with
Yep.
Tammy for like one session or two. So, also to be fair, I don't think when we were playing the dungeon crawling that we used to do for a while there that we ever shared names.
No, not really.
Like, I'm pretty sure I remember one of our friends who shall not be named because we don't name people on the channel. Just because if they're not here, they can't really say anything. So that's
Yep.
I think I forgot to say. But anyway, he made a character, and when we're like, "Oh, what's your character's name?" He's like, "I have to have a character name." And we hadn't realized for 3 months his character never had a name. He never wrote it on his sheet.
Yep.
We didn't know we had a Voldemort here. He who shall not be named.
Okay, well, we're back now. That took a lot longer than we expected. He came, ate pizza, talked, ate cake, talked.
We came?
No, we didn't come. I'm really hoping we did not with his father.
He's the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I've grossed everyone out. My job hasn't been done here. Oh, it was you. Yeah. Me and Tammy and Jay were playing a game. And it was Outriders. And in Outriders, we're playing, and there's this part in it where they're talking about the fact that there's a bunch of dead bodies. And that, you know, well, maybe the guys here, they're like, maybe they were using them for entertainment purposes, or maybe they were eating them. So all of us, you know, all three of us immediately thought they were banging the bodies or eating them. So then as we were progressing with this information, I was like, yeah, man, it'd be so awful if you had like a dead body and you walk up, some guy's like banging it, and you're like, hey man, I'm gonna eat that later. Like, could you stop? And the guy's like, oh, just let me finish, man. He's like, okay, screw it, man. You can just keep your special sauce on it. And like Jay said something very similar to that, and then just like few seconds after saying it, Jay himself is like, oh. I'm like, gross yourself out there, huh, Jay? He's like, yep. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Your reaction the other day when you were streaming, and I'm just... I can't remember when exactly this was. It was you were streaming just out of the blue. I typed in the comments, group necrophilia, cracking open a cold one with the boys.
God.
Yeah.
His reaction.
Chris is, who he's referring to is Chris. Seeing how no one can see him pointing at Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's audio only.
Yeah, audio only kind of is for two reasons. One, when we first originally started doing this, we didn't really have a space where we all were grouping up. So, like, you know, we were in a small little room.
Yeah.
So, like, 2 people were on one side of the room, 2 people were on the other side of the room. Like, we could never film this. Let's just do audio only. And then as it's progressed, it's like, oh, they're just so much easier. People like would prefer to talk without pictures looking at them because they don't have to worry about what they look like or like people seeing their face on the
Nobody
internet.
needs to see this ugly mug.
Yeah, I'm not into scaring small animals and children. So.
You
Just
get
big
to see the
animals
genie.
and teenagers?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Just
To
make-
say he may have moved up to young adults, 25ish.
Like I said, everyone needs a hobby.
Just punching small kids in the face.
That's
That's
not
not
a
a good hobby.
said it had to be a
Technically,
good
it's a hobby, just not necessarily a legal one.
What did I say the other day? I was talking about something, and someone said something, and I referred to Chris. I was talking to him about Chris only has one nut anyway, so it's okay. It was talking about him polishing his nuts or something like that.
I don't know.
I can't remember what the conversation was, but yeah, I was like, yeah, Chris, doesn't have his right one, so it's okay.
Yep.
I had to actually remember which one. How I remember it is the fact that what side is Chris deaf on?
What side is everything ever happened to be on?
But if I can remember what side he's deaf on, I can remember what side he doesn't have a nut.
It is really easy. Everything that bad that happens to me happens on my right side.
One of
My right thyroid, my right shoulder,
Right knee.
my right knee. Just work your way down.
Chris is all right,
gallbladder.
Yep.
and it's
So you're
all
the-
wrong.
So you're the right man for the job.
Sure.
If
You
that
should've
job is
left that
getting
one
injured,
alone.
if that job is being injured, yes, he's the right man for the job. I remember a long time ago, just because we're talking about past stuff, and we're all here. Bryant and Chris had met via GTA Online.
Yep.
GT4 Online.
Yep.
Yeah, the old one, shit.
And yeah, there's been a couple amusing things with that game when we used to play it back in the day. Like the one time that Chris invited his one friend to play,
Welcome to
Look-
GTA.
literally walked up to him and went, "Welcome to GTA," and shot him in the head. And the friend was
That's about
about
accurate.
30 seconds from quitting the game.
Yep.
We literally had to say, "Relax, man. You're fine. Like, your character's going back. Just come back over here."
That's the game.
Because we had said that he was literally about to sign off.
Is that one of your rage quitting friends?
So that'd be the rigid quitting one, yes.
Okay.
And there was, I know that you were there. I don't know if you were there when we first met him. You were there for later on, but we met some guy whose username at the time was Filipino Fire, and while he was shooting at us, while he was driving a bus, he was shooting at us. So we started shooting back at him,
Yep.
and he screamed at us. He's a young man too, like he was like 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
We were all like early 20s when this came out.
Well, you guys were.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that you're old.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Not everyone here is the same age.
Nope.
But he was like probably like early teens, and he just screams out, "Don't shoot me, I'm pregnant."
Yeah, I remember that.
And
Yeah.
we're all just like,
I believe it.
okay, no, fair. Like like it was like the first time like we ever heard someone like randomly shout something out like that, and we're just like, I think we can get along with this guy. Like, and then from that on, I remember us like running around as a crew.
Yep. I didn't hang out with Phil too much.
No,
You and Bryant and Tammy were playing it more.
I think it was actually just me and Bryant.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Tammy didn't have the game on disc.
Could be.
Because it was before we did GTA 5. We did a lot of online. Me and Tammy.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was definitely you and Bryant. I mean, I played with you and Bryant a little bit, but
Yeah. There was a point when Bryant would usually just randomly sign off without warning anyone. He was signing off. He would just sign off. I'd be like, what the fuck? And I was like, after like a couple times of it happening, we started cluing into what happened. And then a couple months later, he informed me of a second part of it, which was his girlfriend at the time would walk past her computer
Oh, yeah,
and
I heard
trip
so
on the
many.
internet cord.
I do that all the time.
And that's how he would lose his internet.
Accidentally.
And then it turned one day. He had the door slightly open, and he was just looking down the hall because he was waiting for something to load, and he was looking down the hall, and he watched her reach over, grab the internet cord, pull it out
Oh.
It's like, what the fuck? I was
because
watching.
she basically was mad that he was playing. Instead of going over there and going, "Hey, can we watch a movie or something?"
Yeah, right? Yeah.
or talking to him, she would just unplug him so that he would just have to, because then he'd be off, because he'd have to come out to replug it back in. And when we replugged it back in,
the cord or something like that, or
too funny.
sabotage the cord in some way or another, poke holes in it or something. I was like, what the fuck? It's plugged in, but it doesn't work. I just bought this cord 2 days ago. Yeah. It's fucked up, man.
But yeah. I know that we were going to have another person here, but he left early because of
medical issues, basically.
Yeah. And yeah, there was a couple of stories that we were going to get from him, but
Yep.
oh well.
He's the
We're doing a podcast, so
he's the person who's known me the longest aside from
Don't worry.
my
it's like, what are you telling us?
Well, we can just make up
Grade
stories about Chris to
9.
fill that in.
Oh, you've watched it.
Yeah.
You can fill in Chris's, like, we could talk about the fact that during World War One, he sat in a bunker, knitting little hats for soldiers.
Yeah, I still
Someone had to.
We can't.
It was a good way
we
to pass
can't-
time.
Yep.
We can't ignore the fact that he had a dinosaur as a
Fuck
pet.
off. It is too goddamn soon.
No, there's actually this
Leave
running.
him alone.
There's this running joke, just so everyone is clear. There's this running joke between me and Bryant a long time ago, where basically we would say outlandish things and claim that they happened during time periods that me and him could not have been alive. Like,
Everybody else.
like I was like, in World War, you remember that time that we had sex with that Filipino hooker in World War II?
Phil?
Like, it was impossible for that ever to happen. And it's like shit like that. So, like, there's this good thing going on between him. I've now incorporated that Chris is older than dinosaurs. And that, like, we're celebrating his 40th birthday, but it's not his 40th birthday. This is actually his, like,
Pretty sure it's like my 40th time turning 40.
no, it's more than that.
Wow.
Shush.
Because, that would just say that you're a couple thousand years, or 100 years old. Not
Least
thousands.
Shush.
Or billions, as I'm
Leave me
referring to you
alone,
right
damn
now. But that during every World War, me and him had been participating in the World Wars, but Chris has never participated in a war ever. He's always like, oh, I'm pacifist. I just want my dinosaurs.
What did I do?
But you do in war?
I
Which
missed
one?
one.
Did I kill people?
Well, you also, had sex with hookers and,
I had concubines. I had male concubines.
yeah. Or there's like joke I think I sent it to you via Snapchat, where I'm like, oh man, so I was like having sex with this stripper man, and like everything was going great
Stripper man.
until his penis started hitting me in my thigh. Like,
What was on the stripper, man?
or like, yeah, I was thinking stuff like that, where I was just like, I would state stuff that of course never happened, but it's just as a running joke.
Yep.
Or
You
like,
started incorporating me, and I just kind of ran with it. So
or like,
yeah,
fucking-
Yeah.
one of the
That's
things
best way
with
to do it. Just be like, yeah, I remember that. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
On
I made
the-
cornbread that night.
one of the old stories that me and Bryant used to have is that my father is actually Patrick Stewart,
Mm-hmm.
who banged my mom, and then after he was done, Eddie Guerrero jumped in there. He lied, he cheated, he stole, and he got my mom pregnant too.
Yeah.
So I'm the child
Mixed it
of
up.
Patrick Stewart and Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, the sperm mixed.
There
There
is-
wasn't one or the other. It was both.
The reason that he says that is because I guess when I was younger, I looked like Eddie Guerrero to some degree, just because I had the really crappy little mustache like Eddie Guerrero had, and then.
Patchy at the time.
Yeah, and then after that, he said something else that I reminded him of Patrick Stewart, so it just kind of broke into there.
Meet me on the holodeck, number one.
So yeah.
That's more like Sean Connery.
Yeah, I was like Scottish.
Oh!
I dipped in there a little bit. I didn't mean
Speaking
to
about
go
Sean
there.
Connery, I have this firm belief that if Sean Connery, or at least a Sean Connery impersonator, had done every top one song from the 70s to now, just as Sean Connery, literally just how Sean Connery's done every movie he's ever been in, where he just talks the way he does, but he's somewhere else. Can you imagine just Sean Connery doing "Hit me, baby, one more time"? Oh, baby, baby. That's all it is. It just Sean Connery doing every.
So it's already staying alive.
Staying alive. Staying alive. I think a CD like that would sell so fucking good. Because people
Sean
would just
Connery
get it.
doing Baby Metal.
Because people would get it just because it would be hilarious.
Yep. I could get behind that.
That's why I said it.
Especially because there's so many songs out there nowadays that's either just really weird or someone just came up with it and went, sure.
Yeah.
Like that one that's about Jeffrey Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos.
Have you not heard that song? Because you're looking at
Oh,
It's on
Yeah,
TikTok
I know
a
the
lot.
one. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about now.
Because yeah, David was looking at me like I was insane and I had no clue what reality we were in.
No, I was thinking. Okay, that sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, right, TikTok.
Yep.
Yeah, 90% of freaking stuff is from TikTok now. Tammy found a song that she really liked off the radio. And she's like, oh, cool, this is a nice song. So she, like, downloaded it and stuff like that. And she was, like, playing it for one of her friends. And one of her friends was like, oh, I know this song. She's like, oh, yeah, cool. Well, she's like, yeah, it's on TikTok. Tammy was like, cool, I'm old.
I remember watching a YouTube video and somebody's comment on it was that if you know this from before TikTok, you're this, and it's like, all I know about TikTok is it's noise.
No, TikTok, I have no problems with TikTok, just for the record here. I think that TikTok is great because having a little bit of everything is always awesome, like, in my personal opinion. But
I can tell Chris is awakened today because I can hear TikTok.
Like, but it's just like, the concept is that, with me at least, how I think of it is the internet itself has a lot of weird stuff in it that has always been around. The problem is now with the internet, we can just see it.
It's more easily shared.
That's why, like, when people are like, oh, people are snowflakes or something like that, I'm like, people have always been like this. The only problem is that they're stuck to their community and can't voice it out to millions of people. But there's always been people like that. There's always been people that are, like, getting mad about one thing or another or whatever. Like, fuck, how many wars were started over bullshit?
All
Like,
of them?
like, kings not happy with you would just be like, kill him.
Yeah.
Like, it's always been around. And it's like when people, like, the other thing is, like, when people, like, talk about how video games are the reason for violence. In this group of people, we all disagree with that. But even more so that there's been wars way before violence, like, before video games.
Yep.
So,
Well, I've seen memes about that. Pictures
exactly.
of people in the Crusades. What game were they playing?
yeah.
Yep.
What music were they listening to?
Yeah. It's the concept of,
Well, the Crusades would have been religious hens.
yeah, well,
Yeah, but
Nine religious dark men.
well, that's the thing is the fact that,
Ozzy Osbourne, for example, he perpetuates this violence or whatever.
Oh, I heard a good one during the concert today.
Mhm.
At one point, the guy I was listening to for the concert was talking about his introduction. The druidry he does now was through ceremonial magic, and he got into ceremonial magic through Ozzy Osbourne's lyrics.
Yeah, I believe it.
well, like,
But then you get like a picture, like I said, of the Crusades or whatever. It's like, what song were they listening to?
yeah.
Revolution.
But no, like, to be fair, it's like Eddie, Ozzy's one comment, I only know this because of him, which I'm pointing at Brian here, is that during his one song, which is, I guess a kid killed himself over or something like that, like, Ozzy was like, did not want that at all, like, he was like 100% like against that, and he's like, like, this is not what I want, like, if any kid had ever been, like, did this because of this, I apologize, like, this is not my intentions, like, he was upset about it.
Yep.
Wasn't it?
Suicide solution.
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought that's what it was. I was trying to remember if that was him or if that was another group.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Suicide Solution,
Might
yeah.
have been covered a couple times. I'm not sure. I know it was like pretty like hot topic for a while. It might have been covered a couple times. So it's not...
Yeah. Well, there's been lots of songs that have been covered for whatever reason, like, because it resonated with someone and they wanted to do a cover of it. Like, there's bands out there that are just primarily cover bands, too. Like, Fozzy. Fozzy was originally a cover band.
Yep.
Before it became, its own thing.
I have no idea who the hell you're talking about.
That's fine.
Jericho.
Fozzy was a band, and then a wrestler joined the band and became their lead singer. And then it started becoming his band. And now it's kind of famous because he's actually made his own entrance music theme. And he is one of the higher-ups in, like, a certain wrestling company, which is AEW.
Yeah, he and about 4 or 5 other guys got together with this person who wanted to give them money to make a company, and they made a new company.
He also has,
It is literally only like 2 years old at this point.
and it's got a huge fan base. But he also decided to have a wrestling event on a cruise ship.
Yep.
And it sells out every year.
I can believe that.
Surprisingly enough, someone that you know, David, actually went to it recently, and he had lots of fun at it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like he talked about it. I'm like so mad because one of my favorite wrestlers actually was at the event, which is Will Ospreay.
Yep.
I know it means nothing to anyone that's not a wrestling fan. It's fine, but anyone else have anything you want to say about Chris? About how funny he looks? How he looks like a thumb with a beard?
Well, given what he looked like back in grade 9 when we first met him, tall, lanky, hunched over, you've straightened up.
Yeah.
He's tall, lanky, and now straight.
Straight.
Well, Chris has also lost a fair bit of weight in the last. He gained a lot of weight and then lost a lot of weight. He's
I'm
gaining,
kind of gaining it again.
but that's because you're just not going right now
Yeah.
to your Taekwondo. But yeah,
Yeah.
he started trying to get healthy after a lot of his
Medical issues.
scares.
Well, I mean, that and Taekwondo is something something I've always wanted to do since as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So being able to learn it is like a dream of mine.
Yeah.
We've got a pretty well-respected master here,
Yeah.
actually.
Well,
He's a good instructor.
He's a very good instructor.
Well-
He's actually world known.
There's
Yep.
9 degrees of black belt.
If you can hear giggling in the background,
That's my daughter.
the daughter has stopped participating in Let's Talk About Her Father and has now started watching YouTube videos and occasionally doesn't realize that, she's got these noise canceling headphones on and just basically has forgot that the world exists around her.
Pretty much.
Which-
Anyway,
To be fair, if any of us were her age again, we'd probably be in the same boat, forgetting that the world exists and wearing headphones.
of the
The world exists.
Yeah.
I can do that at work without
Since
needing
when?
headphones.
International Taekwondo Federation recognizes 9 degrees of black belt. The master we have here is 8.
I was watching, what is that? Hawkeye. The Hawkeye series on Disney Plus. And they brought up the girl that, Kate Bishop is a black belt.
Yep.
Without rooting too much of it, she's a black belt in karate. I had a problem with that when she started losing horribly to everybody. But then again, I also realized that in karate, you can get a black belt at the age of 5. So, really, are you that credible?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because the 5-year-old kid, I'm pretty sure, knowing karate or not, I'm pretty sure me not knowing anything, being out of shape and crappy as I am, can walk up to that kid and kick his ass, because he can't do half the stuff.
You can't put out the force.
It's not even just the force,
Well,
it's
he
just...
can put up the force, but he doesn't have necessarily have the discipline or like the
Well,
comprehension.
Or the
Our
skill,
type-
because like
our
I know
type-
that isn't it like something like 10 years in your taekwondo for it to get a certain degree of
In order, in our instructor personally will not give a proper black belt to anyone under the age of 16.
Yep. And how many years before of training do you have to do?
And at
It
6,
really depends on the person. It can honestly, if you train hard and you don't get too injured or anything else, you could theoretically become a black belt in 2 or 3 years.
Okay, and then after
our
that,
master did it in like 17 or 18 months.
Yeah.
but after that, isn't it something like
After that, if you want to go to the next level of
Mhm.
black belt, it is that many years. So if you are going to your second degree, it is 2 years
okay,
from when you get your first degree.
Yeah.
3 years to get your third.
Yeah.
4 and so on.
and that's not a
And to
cumulative, that
be-
is starting over.
To
Yeah,
be 9th, I think you have to be, 60 or 65?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the concept, is that kind of makes sense to me when you think of that. But then when you think of like a 5-year-old having a black belt, it's like they don't have the skill. Like they can learn everything, but they don't really have the skill.
Yeah.
And it kind of showed it kind of in Kate Bishop, because she's a black belt, but she was getting her ass kicked by a bunch of people, and her argument was that she wasn't ready or whatever like that. I'm like, yeah, but as a black belt, you would be. That's
Not necessarily. The one thing that a lot of people don't think about is you can get your black belt in a martial art, and you can be a pretty good fighter in the school or in the ring. You get into an actual fight out on the street, and that's a very different situation.
Yeah, but then my argument then is the fact that, at least my personal thoughts, is then you shouldn't be a black belt. Because you should be able to, as a black, to get your degree in a black belt, you should have at least gotten to a fight. Like, even if it's a full contact sparring match. Like Chris
By
did.
the time you were a black belt, you should have participated in at least one tournament.
Yeah.
Which is...
In which case you do have, maybe not full contact, but you do have sparring.
Yeah.
Which is, it's still full contact, but with padding on.
Yeah.
Which is the concept that I'm trying to get to. It's like, the way that she was attacking in that show, she's like using bottles to hit people. Instead of actually actually punching them, or hitting them, or doing any, or flipping them, or anything like that. She's just fucking hitting them. And she hit the same guy 4 times with a bottle.
Yeah.
But the concept is that she could have just, like, freaking hit him once with a proper karate move and he would have been disabled. Yeah. As a black belt, you should know that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, as if she was, like, a red belt or something like that, I would be less judgmental about this. Because then you don't know everything. You don't know every single move. But, like, as a person, like, even me, like, I know that, you should go for certain spots. Like, go for the fucking throat.
Yep.
Because if you hit someone in the throat, even if you can't hit them hard enough to knock them out, hitting someone in the throat...
That'll give them a chance, it's like an interrupt.
Tracheal
Yeah, to interrupt. So it stuns them.
Yep.
So you hit them, and they have at least that little bit of time where they have to start realizing that they have to re-breathe.
Yeah. And we're actually taught that even in like our self-defense. Maybe not necessarily go for the throat, but...
At Aurelia's... our daughter's
it's fine, you can say
level,
her name. She's here.
She's a yellow belt working towards every solid color belt is alternated by a stripe of the next color. Her knowledge component that she has to work on is a list of 15 vital targets and 15 attacking tools.
Yeah. And it's like, even in the show, I'm hoping I'm not spoiling this for anyone, because I'm trying to do it
caught up on it myself.
I'm just trying to do vague details as well.
Yeah.
But at one point, she does a Hurricane Rana to someone, which is a wrestling move. She does it completely by accident.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, it was like sheer luck that she did the move. And it's just like, it felt like it was like, they were telling us that she was a 22-year-old awesome, kick-ass archer, fencer, hand-to-hand combat person, but weren't showing us.
Yeah.
Like, even the couple times that she had done anything, archery she wasn't bad at all. Fencing she was okay at, and hand-to-hand it didn't show me it. It just went that she knew how to fight, but didn't really know how to implement it properly.
Yeah.
Which, again, maybe that's just that. Maybe that could be because it's karate, and in karate you can get your black belt a lot earlier. So therefore, you know all the steps, but you haven't been able to do it properly. Which could be just a byproduct of how karate does things for you. But I wish they would have explained that or something. It's just kind of one of those things where, like,
there's a disconnect there.
Yeah, it was weird. And like then she used the excuse of, oh well, I was just like, caught off guard. It's like, yeah, but that's the problem, is the fact that you kind of just stood there and hid in a car. Like, she's hidden in a car at one point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So that's my thought process of that, at least.
But let's face it, how hard is it to not take the tracksuit mafia seriously?
Dude, are you kidding me? They maybe call it tracksuit mafia, but that just makes me think Russian.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm going to take the Russian mafia seriously. I really can't wait for that movie to come out.
Which one?
The one about the Russian mafia and the train. There's a comedian. We talked about it before on the podcast.
Oh, right. I forgot that they were doing a movie about that.
There's a comedian.
The Machine.
Yeah, The Machine. There's a comedian who was taking Russian in college, and he was failing the class. And his teacher's like, "Oh, I understand that that you're failing my class, but I need 10 people in this class, and you're number 10.
You
So
are not
I'm
allowed
going.
to drop
So
it.
I'm going to give you a pass, barely a pass, but a pass, if you stay in the class. So you get your credits, so you can get everything else. He's like, it's awesome, sure. So he's like, that was the easiest class ever. And then they went on a field trip to Russia, and like they had to like pay off the mafia and all this stuff to do it, and they all went there, and he went there, and he was.
This was good. I've heard this.
Yeah.
Song,
He was drinking with the guy, like some Russians, and they're like, hey, they asked him something, and the only words that he can remember was, I'm the machine! And then they all just look at him. Like,
Okay, you're the machine!
Deadpan just like, what the, like, he's like, oh my god, I just fucked up, they're all gonna kill me. And then the one guy goes, he's the machine! And then he all just fucking said it. And then from there on, like, he became best friends with these Russians. And, like, he robbed a train with them. Like, while his own people, like, his own classmates were on the train and
Yeah,
shit.
he robbed his own classmates, including himself.
Yeah, including himself, which he realized afterwards. And then, like, afterwards, like, his teacher, like, called the cops on him. And the cops got called, and they were talking, and they talked to a couple other people, and they talked to him, and they're like, so, I hear that you're the machine. You should come drink with us. And he's like, well, I'm not going to get in trouble. He's like, fuck no, fuck that bitch.
This is Russia.
This is Russia. Yeah, like, fuck, it was awesome.
Yeah,
I cannot wait till that movie comes out.
it'll be entertaining.
The things I have been introduced to since meeting Chris.
Yep.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get you, Brian, to watch that actual
Yes.
thing.
I've heard that story 100 times. Yeah, I know Brick Racer.
Yeah. Fuck it, that's a good one. But yeah.
It's not. Speaking about comedians, like the other one I like is the comedian talking about how his buddy's having a.
The
his,
bachelor party?
Yeah, the bachelor party.
Oh.
And he wanted weird.
Oh.
So you got the female wrestler?
Oh my
Yep.
God. Yeah.
He told his friend, I think he told his friend straight out, you do not want me doing this.
I'm a comedian.
I'm a comedian.
and
I will make a fucking joke. He's like, whatever, man.
I won't do that.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand. I'm already thinking about it. No, you planned the bachelor party. Okay.
So he got himself a giant female who would just wrestle, and I use that in quotation marks with you, while naked.
Because he found it because
It was
of
on
the words
Craigslist.
in the
In comment, I've
Craigslist.
never been so depressed and horny at the same time.
Yeah.
just the description. I'll wrestle ya.
Yep.
Yep. Well,
Okay.
that warrants a message at least.
Okay, well, we're going to end this thing here.
Okay.
Hopefully you have the good birthday.
I had a pretty good birthday.
You're now like,
Ancient.
was it 72,450,612,040?
Something like. I lost track, man.
I know what that's like.
They didn't invent scientific notation until relatively recently.
Yeah, and
So
he
whatever you just said plus an asterisk.
Yeah.
but we got the 40 part right.
Yes.
We got the 40 part right. That's at the end part. But anyway, I was gonna say the other thing is the fact that and it took him a long time just to get over his pit dinosaur that he lost.
What? Oh.
He still hasn't got really over it. It still hurts him a lot.
Sound!
Which one are you upset about?
All of them. God damn it.
Because yeah,
So Jurassic Park is a trauma?
God yes.
I think like
Accurate.
in
With drama.
his chat, I was like, so you're missing Bitey, Stompy, Stabby, Fred, Tony. Okay. Well, Tony made a hell of a
You know that
baloney.
family, the Flintstones? Yeah. I was old before they were fucking around.
So you were their landlord?
No, man. I kind of knew who they were, but
Other side of the world.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, we're going to let you guys go. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next time.